Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Please leave a comment if you have anything to say about the topics I'm about to speak on. The beginnings of the videos are the worst. I'm still trying to figure out how to enter them because I feel like it's so awkward to say hi every single time. Today we're going to be talking about the top 5 things that surprised me about moving in with my boyfriend. If you guys didn't know, I didn't just move out of my friend's crib, which is really sad because I loved it there. I moved into an apartment with my boyfriend of 2 to 3 years. I think it'll be 3 years in July. So we're living together. I know it's very official. It's kind of scary. And I did a lot of research online trying to look up like what it would be like if it's too soon. Am I gonna like doom our relationship by moving in right now? Am I too young for this? That sort of thing. Asking my grandparents, asking my parents, all that sort of stuff. I got a lot of good advice, but I managed to compile 5 things that I actually didn't hear people really talk about that much, or things that just generally surprised me even if I did hear it and I just kind of just didn't believe it, which is I guess on me. But yeah, so stay tuned if you're interested in hearing the top 5 things that surprised me about living with my boyfriend. Relationship time video that I post, I'm going to answer one anonymous question from my Tumblr anonymous ask page and hopefully help some people out with what I know about relationships. And let me put a disclaimer, I don't know anything. I've just been in one, and just so you guys know, this is like my first real one, so please don't take anything I say too close to heart because I am not a relationship expert. I have not been trained. I am not even like a serial dater. I've gone on maybe like 1 or 2 dates before I met like my partner, and I've never really dated anyone until I dated my partner. So just let you know. But people still ask me questions and I don't want to be rude and not answer them, so here I go. Before I start, again, if you guys want to ask me any questions, go to my blog at leahkeys9.com, and on the front page there's going to be a button that says ask me anything. Click on that, it'll take you to my Tumblr where all the questions that you post are anonymous and only I can see them. So someone asks, hi Leah, I'm in an exclusive long distance relationship. We started off long distance, so it's not really an adjustment as if we've been seeing each other every day in person. He's moving to Japan for an internship for a year, which really makes it harder considering the relationship just started. We've been exclusive for 4 months. Communication isn't where I want it to be. I've communicated about it and he apologized and said he'll be more free since school is done. What do you suggest? Well, thank you so much for your question. I really appreciate it. I will start by saying that a 4-month relationship is pretty soon and pretty early. And the first thing that I would do if it was me is evaluate if 4 months, if that amount of time is long enough for me to honestly hang on to, you know? If you're already having really big issues in a relationship within the first 4 months of beginning, I think it's important to evaluate whether it's worth it to you to continue putting your time and energy and effort into this relationship. Long distance is never easy. Yeah, I guess neither are relationships, but like if it's only been 4 months and you're already starting to have a good amount of hardship, I would really question if it's a place that you need to be in. It sounds like since he's going to Japan for a year, that might cause a little bit more issues as far as like time differences and stuff like that. And according to your question, it doesn't seem like you guys have ever met in person. It's hard to say what I would want you to do since I don't know you and I don't know that person and I don't know your circumstances. But if it was me in this situation, I would probably just evaluate if it's worth it to me to continue to have such an emotional connection to someone that has different priorities, and that's okay. Depending on what stage in your life you're in, it might be that time of your life to be trying out new things and going places and that sort of thing, and they might not be ready to kind of settle down yet, and maybe you should evaluate if you're ready for that too. And if you are, then it might be trying to find someone that is, but only you can decide if this person is worth waiting for and if this experience is how you want to live for the next year. Hopefully that was helpful. If there are any other questions, please hit me at leahkeys9.com and click that Tumblr button. I don't answer questions through DM just because it's a little bit hectic. So if you want to ask me anything, please just go over to my blog and then just ask me there. I would be more than happy to answer them on one of these episodes. So just let me know. Thank you. So before I begin, I just want to let you guys know if I keep like motioning towards the door, it's because he's not here, and I do that sometimes. Like when I talk about someone and I know where they are, I motion towards where they are, and the door is where he last was because he left. So that's why I might be doing that. But the first thing that surprised me, I have my notes here by the way if you're wondering why I'm looking down, is that we don't do everything together. And I had a lot more alone time than I expected. Everywhere I looked, people were like,
oh my gosh, make sure that you're ready to have someone by you all the time. You're gonna get so annoyed with someone like cooking like under your feet and like stealing the TV and like in the bathroom when you need it.
And like no, he's never here. This dude is literally never here. He goes to work before I wake up, and he comes home literally after I go to sleep. I see him one day a week. Like, this man is not here. And that might just be my specific experience, but that's my experience nonetheless. And I was kind of low-key hoping for like a buddy to do stuff with, and that's not the case, which is totally okay, because everyone has different schedules. And when I do see him, it is really, really cool. And sometimes I see him at night and we get to do little stuff together. But other than that, I think what surprised me a lot was learning to be cool with a lot of alone time. I went from living with my friends and seeing them every single day. Every night was a different type of party. We'd have like movie nights on Fridays, we'd have like drinks on Saturdays, we'd have like homework study like times on Sundays. Like, we were always doing something all together. And now I'm alone. And it really did suck for the first few weeks, but I think I'm starting to get into a groove. I guess the best piece of advice I could give to somebody who's in the same sort of situation is to plan out stuff that you can do that you wouldn't be able to do with your partner. For example, he's allergic to seafood. So I have decided that on the days where I know I'm free and he is not here, I'm gonna go ham on some seafood. I can go get some crawfish, I can get some lobster, gonna get some salmon, some poke. I'm gonna chow down until I can't anymore, because that's how I'm gonna celebrate the fact that I'm alone. But I'm just gonna keep doing that until I feel good about it, honestly. It's kind of my plan, honestly. Number 2, I have learned more about myself than I've learned about him. I read a lot about how living with someone will help you get to know them in a way that's a lot more intimate, and like, I agree, but I don't think I've learned stuff about him that I didn't already know. Like, I know that he's cleaner than me. I know that he's like more chill and less like sporadic than I am. I knew that already. But what I didn't know was the stuff that irritates me. Like, I knew that I wouldn't care about the toilet seat being left up or whatever, but there's some things that like really, really bother me that I had no clue that bothered me. I'm not gonna air out our issues on the internet, but just, there are gonna be things that you think you're completely fine with that, or you just don't even think of, that will happen once or twice, and you're gonna be like,
oh my gosh, I'm gonna kill this person if I do this one more time.
And that tells you more about yourself than it tells you about the other person. Along with that, I feel like living with someone else full time will also kind of change you in a way. I was never a bed spreader, but ever since I've been here, I try to spread the bed every single day. I have no idea why or when this started happening, but every morning I spread the bed, and I don't know, I just feel really good about it now. So I don't know if it's just knowing that I'm sharing a space and wanting it to be clean for both of us when we come back. But I do think that some things change when you're living with someone as far as your own habits, in both a positive and possibly also a negative way. So watch out for that. You might be growing a lot more than you think. Number 3, we interact with each other in our sleep, and not in the way that you think. So when we're sleeping, sometimes when I'm in a really intense dream, I tend to sleep talk. Not super often, but sometimes. And he like twitches, you know? Like, I don't know if, I've heard other guys do that in their sleep, but he like twitches a little bit. So sometimes when we're sleeping together, I'll like talk and he'll like twitch in like response, and then I'll speak on that twitching. And then for some reason that will trigger my sleep talking again, and we'll end up waking each other up because of those unconscious or subconscious like actions. In my sleep, one day I kind of like slightly woke up and saw that my pillow was on his side of the bed. And in my head, I was like, all right, I'm gonna just grab my pillow and go to sleep. So I did, but I didn't realize that his head was on it and he was sleeping on it. So I yanked it out of him and I went to sleep on it. He got up and he was like, dude, what the heck? Like, I was using that. We're both half asleep. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Here, you can take it. He's like, nah, bro, you can have it now. And we kind of got into like a low-key fight while we're like subconsciously sleeping. It was really funny. But it's happened a few times. And I feel like it should be mentioned that if you're in a bed with someone that you aren't normally in a bed with every single night, you might need to be ready for subconsciously interacting with each other while you're sleeping. Number 4, this one's kind of sad. I didn't feel like I was at home when he wasn't here. And that was a really big problem for me because my family isn't here either, and neither are my friends. So when he wasn't here, I felt really, really, really lonely, and I felt really disoriented because I didn't have any connection to the space. So what I did to help with that was I kind of looked up ways to feel connected to your house, and a lot of it is like doing activities in the house and having people over, like housewarming parties, cooking in the house, and like just doing things to make you like the space, putting your pictures up, putting color on the walls, that sort of thing. So every weekend I've started to kind of try to like make the house feel more homey. That way I feel like I belong here, not just that I belong here when he's here, because this is also my house. It's not his house that I'm in. I also live here, so it's important for me to feel like this is my home, as opposed to just feeling like he's my home, because I need to be okay when he's not here. So just be prepared for, if you're moving into a new spot and you know your partner is gonna be busy a lot, be prepared for that kind of like trial period of not liking where you're at. And be prepared to like kind of put some time into making that home your own space, because it will take time, and I think it takes a little bit of effort as well. Number 5 is super cliche, but it's so true. Living with him, I do love him more every single day. I think it depends on the couple, I think. But I think we got really lucky with the pair that we have found in each other. And I really like that dude. He's really cool. I think the small things that you guys do every day kind of make you be like, "Aw, I like you." And even the things that you do for each other, like he'll know that I have a busy day coming up and he'll like clean the kitchen. I try to make him dinner whenever I can. Depending on the people that you're with or the person that you're with, it can just be really, really nice and really bonding to live with someone on a daily basis. And I think that's something that should be considered when you're looking into living with your partner. So that's all 5. I do have a blog post about this if you want to hear more about our, I guess, in-depth story. It's going to be at leahkeys9.com as always. If you guys have any questions about our relationship that's not too personal, or have a question about your own relationship or a general question or whatever, please hit me at leahkeys9.com. Click on that little Tumblr button and it will be anonymous no matter who you are. I really appreciate y'all checking in this video. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.